Hi everybody, this is Michael Hildebrandt and I'm your host on the Sleeptrust podcast, where I'm talking about how to gain back trust in your ability to have a superb sleep again. In this week's episode of the Sleeptrust podcast, we are going to talk about nothing specifically. Today is Christmas and I'm standing here in a darkened room. I've got a little candle burning right beside me, and it's a really comfortable setting. So I thought I just prepare this before I go to bed, and which is going to be in just a couple of minutes from now. And I decided to record this podcast just to share with you what I do to end my year, which is basically planning the next year. So I'm not sure if you do this or what you think about doing but I find this to be an absolute valuable process. And Christmas is just such a wonderful time to sit down. You're in this quiet and relaxed state, and to just kind of reflect of what you did the last 12 months, basically. How did the last year go for you and me? What were the things that went really lovely? Which things would you rather had avoided? And from that state of looking back, kind of turning your head around and looking into the future, and taking the time to consciously decide and think about what you would love to have next year. And this can be, job-related things, of course. Do you want to make a career? Relationship-related things. Are there things that you want to do better in your relationships? Do you want to meet your friends more often, or be there for your kids a little bit more, for your spouse? Whatever. Are there trips that you have planned or wished for a long time, and next year might be the year that it's time to do them? Because we're all not here forever, and it's worth thinking about the things that you did not do yet. And I'm not talking about or maybe I am talking about this bucket list kind of thing. Are there things that you want to do on this little planet Earth? Then consider doing them next year. And this is particularly important. One thing you might know or might not know, but a big thing that brought me to sleep coaching was basically when I had a slip disc a couple of years ago, which gave me a tremendous amount of pain. So I was more than once near to tears, simply through the pain. And in that time, I couldn't sleep. At least not long. And when I went to bed, I knew that 2, 3, 4 hours later, I would wake up with an amount of pain that was near to driving me crazy. And during this time, I was also hardly able to walk. So I had these sticks and went out, sometimes only for 200-300 meters, and turned back to my house. But what also happened is that I met a lot of people outside. So one day I met this woman. She had back pain too, and we kind of started to have a little chat. And then I met her quite frequently. She had a little dog and was an absolute lovely person. So at some point she had an MRI scan for her back, and it turned out that she had a cancer. So what happened next is basically that she died a couple of weeks later. And this not only gave me to think, how bad is it really to have, pain in your back? Or maybe you are having sleep problems at the moment. Maybe you're having a bunch of other problems, but at least we're still there and we can enjoy every single day. And that is exactly what I think about at the end of the year, looking forward, planning my year, coming back to what do you want to do? The bucket list. Don't push it too far away. If you're not a Buddhist, and I'm not, then you might share the belief with me that we're here once, and we should spend that time to enjoy ourselves, to be good to others, and to live a fulfilled and valuable life. So, yeah, in that regard, I think having plans for the future is a great thing to do, and maybe a New Year resolution, a word that is kind of burnt a little bit because, everybody says that people who have New Year resolutions don't follow through on them. And you always get this joke with the fitness studios where people go, in January and February, it's empty again. But I actually know a lot of people who follow through on their New Year resolutions. And even if they don't make it through, they at least tried. So I think it's 1 million times better to try to change something for the better than to say, I won't be able to change it anyway. So this is basically the point where I'm going to close up this little Christmas podcast for you, hoping and wishing for you that you are somebody who will keep on trying to live the life that you deserve to live, to get the sleep, of course, that you deserve to get, and the relationships, the wealth, the career, the travels, everything you want to have. This is what I wish for you. And over that, I wish you a lovely Christmas with your families, with your friends, with all those dear people that you love so much, that love you so much. And I wish you a happy new year. Get into the new year fresh, energized, healthy, and may all your wishes come true. With that, I wish you a lovely Christmas, good 2020, and of course, a superb sleep. Hear you next year. Bye-bye. Hey there, and thanks for listening to the Sleeptrust podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to get further information on this podcast or material that will help you to gain back your sleep trust, please check out sleeptrust.eu. That's sleeptrust.eu, where you will get lots of information around sleep. And here comes some legal stuff. Everything on this podcast is my opinion only, so do not take it as an advice, as I am not a doctor, nor have I considered your personal situation. If you feel that you need medical advice, please consider getting an appointment at your doctor of trust. If you want to give me any kind of feedback on this podcast, feel free to email me at podcast@sleeptrust.eu. I hope you tune in again next week, and until then, have a good sleep.